Australia, often called the land down under, is home to one of the oldest continuous cultures on Earth. For over 65,000 years, the Aboriginal people of Australia have walked this land, living in harmony with nature, holding knowledge and traditions that connect them deeply to their origins, their ancestors, and their spiritual beliefs. But where did they come from? What stories do they tell of their ancient past? And what makes them truly unique in this vast tapestry of humanity? Stay tuned as we unravel the fascinating journey of the Indigenous Australians, their legends, beliefs, and way of life. The story of Aboriginal Australians begins tens of thousands of years ago. Archaeological and genetic evidence suggests that their ancestors left Africa roughly 70,000 years ago, joining the first wave of humans to migrate out of the continent. Following routes along the coast of Asia, they eventually arrived in what is now Australia around 65,000 years ago. This makes Aboriginal Australians one of the oldest continuous cultures, with roots that stretch farther back than almost any other human population on Earth. Back then, the world was a different place. During the Ice Age, sea levels were much lower, and Australia was connected to New Guinea and a supercontinent known as Sahel. Using simple rafts and boats, their ancestors navigated dangerous waters to reach these shores, a remarkable feat for that time. However, their story doesn't end with migration. For Aboriginal Australians, their origins are more than scientific. They are deeply spiritual, tied to sacred stories passed down through generations. In Aboriginal culture, the creation of the world is explained through the Dreamtime, or dreaming. The Dreamtime is not just a story, it is a timeless dimension where ancestral spirits shaped the land, created life, and established laws for living. One of the most well-known Dreamtime figures is the rainbow serpent, a powerful being credited with creating rivers and shaping the land as it moved. Another story tells of Bayame, the Sky Father, who descended from the heavens to give the people their laws, ceremonies, and language. Yet there isn't one single Dreamtime story. Each Aboriginal group, or mob, has its own stories tied to their specific landscape. For example, the Yolngu people of Arnhem Land tell the story of Jankawu, ancestral siblings who traveled across the land and created sacred sites. Meanwhile, the Noongar people of Western Australia recount tales of Waggle, a serpent-like creature that carved out the rivers of their land. These stories are more than mythology. They act as maps, detailing the geography, water sources, and seasonal patterns of the land. They also guide Aboriginal people on how to live in balance with nature and respect the laws of the universe. Aboriginal Australians are instantly recognizable, with physical traits that have evolved over millennia to suit the harsh Australian environment. Their skin color, a beautiful and unique adaptation to the sun-drenched landscapes of the outback. High cheekbones, broad noses, and dark eyes are common features, along with curly or wavy black hair. These traits not only make them distinct, but reflect the beauty of their long lineage. Aboriginal Australians were shaped by the land they lived on, and their connection to it is mirrored in their appearance. For the Aboriginal people, life is deeply spiritual. They believe in the interconnectedness of all things: people, animals, the land, and the sky. Every rock, river, and tree has a story, a spirit, and a purpose. Their ceremonies, called corroborees, involve dance, music, and storytelling, which serve as a connection to their ancestors in the Dreamtime. These ceremonies are central to their way of life, bringing the community together and passing down knowledge. Aboriginal culture also places great emphasis on storytelling and oral tradition. Knowledge isn't written in books, it's shared through stories, songs, and art. These stories are as much about survival, teaching how to find water or track animals, as they are about spiritual beliefs. Unlike many societies, Aboriginal Australians did not have kings or queens. Instead, they relied on a council of elders to guide their people. These elders, both men and women, are highly respected and hold vast knowledge about the Dreamtime, ceremonies, and survival. Aboriginal spirituality is not organized like modern religions. Instead of worshiping one god, they honor many spirits and ancestors who continue to guide them. Each mob has its own sacred sites, places like Uluru, Katajuta, and Kakadu, which are believed to be the dwelling places of their ancestors. What truly sets Aboriginal Australians apart is their incredible resilience and adaptability. Despite facing one of the harshest climates on Earth, they thrived for tens of thousands of years. Their ability to live in harmony with nature, using sustainable practices like controlled burning to manage the land, was far ahead of its time. They were also remarkable innovators. Aboriginal Australians created boomerangs, spears, and even tools for astronomy. In fact, they were among the world's first astronomers, using the stars to navigate and tell stories about the universe. But it's their deep spiritual connection to the land that truly sets them apart. Where others see wilderness, they see a living, breathing entity filled with wisdom, history, and life. While many Aboriginal people accept the Dreamtime as their origin story, others today reconcile this spiritual belief with scientific explanations. These dual perspectives reflect the diversity within Aboriginal culture itself. Yet, like many Indigenous groups, Aboriginal Australians have faced immense challenges. Colonization brought disruption, loss of land, and cultural suppression. But today, they are reclaiming their voices, ensuring their stories and traditions are preserved for future generations. The story of Aboriginal Australians is one of endurance, wisdom, and spiritual connection. Their traditions remind us of the importance of living in harmony with the earth and respecting the past. As one of the oldest continuous cultures on the planet, they hold a treasure trove of knowledge and stories that enrich us all. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the ancient origins of Aboriginal Australians. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more about the world's rich histories and cultures, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Until next time, keep exploring and keep learning.